Hi, everyone. How are you today? Good afternoon. I'm Paul Atkinson, and I'm delighted to be here. And I've got the chat up. And Rob, great question. Who did the video? YouTube did. It's one of the channels that I actually subscribe to. It's called Laws of Attraction for Motivation. So I think Luca dropped it in the chat there. Good stuff. I actually meditate on that in the mornings. So the question now is, why are you here? All right. Everyone is here because we want to answer that question. When you're sitting on a listing appointment with a seller and the seller says, hey, before I list this house with you, I want to go ahead and be able to uh, find a property first. That's a really interesting dilemma when you get that. So I've been there many times. For those of you who don't know me, I'll introduce myself to you and we'll go over the course this today's session objectives of what we're going to accomplish. You want to make sure that you're ready to write things down. So get a pen and paper. There'll be some kudos to you. There'll be a lot of good tips. There'll be some techniques that we use in the 5 steps to the sale, which is one of our selling systems that we use phenomenally for the last 30 years. Good stuff. So definitely get ready and let's rumble. So now, as we move forward, I'm going to ask that you give me some good questions, right? And we're going to role play. I'm going to need some volunteers. So I think Benisa is there to help me. I know my staff is not here because they're busy doing other things. So Benisa, can you help me, please, and just catch any questions that I don't see? Yes.
As always.
Thank you, my dear. You're amazing. All right, guys. So if I don't catch you right away, or Benisa doesn't catch you, then please don't be mad at us, right? All right. Let's take a look at what we put together for you on this one. Today is a good day, right? And I love it. So, laws of attraction, if you look right here, it says laws of attraction motivation, laws of attraction coaching. They have over 3 million subscribers and they get credit for this video, not us, right? Agent Locate has nothing to do with this. Successful Business Academy, me, we have nothing to do with it. But these guys are phenomenal. I would encourage you to check them out and perhaps use them to motivate. So why do we start these sessions with these kind of motivational talks? Because it is very important that you have the right mindset. And as we go through these slides, which is not much today, just a few, you're going to be able to see that motivation is one of the key things that you should have in your business. Your passion is watching for your courage to catch up. Okay, your passion is waiting for your courage to catch up. Rob, I think that you're going to be one of the volunteers, right? Because you've got a lot of input and we sure do appreciate you. So let's take a look right now at these slides here as we move forward, right? It's time to grow as usual. This is our motto when we do these sessions. And today's topic will be how to handle when a seller says, hey, I want to find a home before listing the property. Now, can you imagine you're on a listing appointment and the seller says this to you? How would that make you feel, right? Well, I've been there many times. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm going to give you a little introduction, right? But the course objectives today is for us to be able to answer this question right here, right now, and for us to also role play and practice and make our hearts stop beating. So we're prepared for when the seller says to us, hey, look, yeah, I want to find a house before I list the property, right? The only way to get over this is to get some techniques and some tricks that you can use in order to handle that. So I'm going to go over that with you. We're going to do some live role playing. At first, we want to do a little assessment. So you're going to see that we kind of bring on a slide where we're talking about, we want some volunteers and we want you to be involved in this to kind of show us where you are now in your real estate business. This is going to help us, all right? This is very interactive. This is going to help you to determine where you are and then where you can go from there to get stronger, build big muscles. And then towards the end of this, we're going to give you like some support links that you're going to be able to get support and get some help to get those leads going inside of your CRM with Agent Locator and actually interact with the leads and convert them. The most important thing about converting leads is having the tools that you need to convert them. And we're going to show you that inside of answering this question today. So, what do you need to handle this objection when someone says, hey, you know what? I want to find a home before listing the property. When they say that, what do you need? Well, first thing comes to my mind is how many of us feel right now that, and this is where I kind of need a little bit of expert opinions from you guys, right? I want to see in the chat. I want you to be interactive. You're also free to unmute your mic and speak up, right? The first thing it says, how many of us feel that we have what is needed to handle this objection right now or this direction? How many of us? I'm looking in the chat. Okay. Let's see. And come on, unmute your mic. Is there anybody that feel that? Me too. Anybody feel that you can do this? We are waiting. I need a volunteer. Pretty much. Okay, Susan. Woo! Yay! Somebody says pretty much they can do that. Susan, you say you could do it? Okay. And then Sharon says maybe. Okay, who else? How many of us feel that we can handle that? So let me get a pen and paper because it looks like we have a volunteer. Susan, can you speak to us? Unmute your mic, please. Susan Hooper?
Yes, okay.
Oh, hi, Susan. You said that. How are you today, my dear?
I'm pretty good.
Wonderful. Where are you? What's
in Eustis, Florida.
Say that again?
Eustis, Eustis. Florida.
Oh, Eustis, Florida.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this is pretty cool. Eustis, Florida. Okay. All right. Well, listen, you're feeling right now that you do have what's needed to handle this when a seller says, hey, you know what? I want to find a house first. Is that correct? You feel like you have what it needs. Yes?
Yeah, I've been in the business 40 years.
Wonderful, Susan. So you could help us. So we could count on you as one of our role players next. Is that correct?
Yes, I've been in a lot of different situations. And I guess first of all, you got to figure out what their house is worth, how much money they have.
Right. Yeah, a lot of, well, we're going to role play it and we're going to have you as one of our role plays. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Please, we're going to need you. All right. What about the second bullet here? Okay. What is it that you need to handle this objection is one thing. And secondly, if you don't have what you need, where can you get it? Right. We're going to talk about that. And then what are some of the best ways to handle this conversation? Susan is going to be a participant in that, and we love that. And then finally, I want you to ask yourself at the end of this, and that's why you want to stick around all the way to the end. There's going to be an assessment here. We're going to ask ourselves, hey, guess what? Am I ready to handle this objection? If I get put in front of a seller I'm going to motivate you right now. What if you get in front of a seller and they want to list a $1 million house? How much commission is that? Roughly like $20,000 to $30,000. So you got to be motivated right now to know in your mind and in your heart and in your soul, are you ready to handle this? All right. If I'm not paying attention to the chat, just bear with me because guess what, guys? I can't do it all, right? You have a client in the same scenario. Whoa, Azal. So if you have a client in the same, Azal, can you participate so we could really help you today? Do you want to be, can you speak up? I have a client. Yes, Azal, can you come to the page? Yes?
Yeah, I can be at the middle of this.
Perfect. So you're going to role play with us, right? So here's what we're going to do right now. Let's jump into our assessment, right? Let us see the best way to move past this objection. The seller said you're in a listing appointment and we're going to role play right now. And I'm just going to kind of turn off the monitor and I'm going to let you see my face, right? So we have 2 volunteers, and we are grateful. First of all, everybody give our volunteer a round of applause. Azal and Susan. Yay! Azal, what about you? How long have you been in the business?
2 years.
Yay! So look at this. And then Susan has 30 years. So, we got to give you a round of applause because we see the long-term realtor and we see the brand new Snuggabooga is what I call as a Snuggabooga. She's new to the business, but yet vibrant and powerful. And I love that. So now let's role play. All right, we're going to do a role play session right now. Then we're going to talk about some key techniques that we could use. And then we're going to do another role play where I am going to be that agent and I will demonstrate. Okay, that'll be the last part of our time today. So you really want to make sure you stick around to see that. So let's role play right now. And I'm going to be the seller. And we are going to have Susan as our first volunteer, and we appreciate it. So Susan, are you ready for role playing? And we want to make sure we could hear you okay. So let's do a mic test, mic test. Susan, are you ready? Or should we have Azal go first? Susan, you ready?
You have to understand I'm 76 years old and some of this techie stuff drives me crazy.
Oh, that's okay. We appreciate you and we thank you for your expertise. So no worries, okay? So let's go with it, Susan. Here's what this is the setup for our class today. We're going to role play right now, and we want to just do an assessment to see where we are as realtors. All right, cool. So no, this is not to say you're bad, I'm good. Nobody's bad or good.
Okay,
We're all equal right now. We just want to learn, and we want to be able to help the seller to move forward. That's it. So now I'm going to play the seller, and you're going to hear me. I want you to give me, guys, if you don't understand what Susan and I and Azal are talking about, when we say trial close, it means that we're trying to close the seller to sign. So we're giving little words and tips. So I'm going to say to Susan right now, we're in the middle of the presentation. There's a lot of stuff that happened prior to this. Susan is now getting ready to close me up and give me the pen. And I'm going to object. I'm going to say, no, I think I want to find a house first. And then she's going to handle that to the best she can. So everybody, all the participants, let's take a deep breath. Susan, got to relax because I know we're nervous, right? One more deep breath, one more deep breath. All right, here we go. This is fun. Let's do it. Susan, I'm ready. I'm sitting here. You have the pen. Let's go. I'm the seller. And here we go. Yes, Susan, I think, everything sounds good. And I like what you have to say. And yeah, thank you very much, Susan. It's nice for you to come over. Thank you. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. So what do you really want to do? You said you wanted to buy a house before you sell your house?
Well, yes, I was thinking about that because I really don't want to be, if I tell you, if I don't really see something I like, I really want to buy a house before I get this house listed. Yes, I do.
Okay, that can be difficult depending on what the seller of the house, if they will agree with it. That's something that we'd have to talk them into, and we'd have to figure out what qualifications that you have that would encourage them to take the chance. And of course, you would have to put a deposit down.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? I think, it doesn't matter to me. I just want to be able to, I think I want to buy the house first. I don't want to list this house until I find something else.
Okay. I just want to let you know it's not going to be easy because you have the money to buy the house first. Now, when you say buy the house, do you mean you want to buy the house and close on the house before you list your house?
Yeah, I want to buy the house before I list my house.
And have it closed. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I'm not really sure, but I think so.
Well, you would have to, have the money in the bank, and the seller of the other house would like to know to have a proof that you have the money to buy the house.
Yeah, this
So
okay.
you don't have to reveal all the money.
Okay. Susan, time out. This is good. Good job. Everybody give Susan a round of applause. Susan, this is phenomenal because you're doing exactly what you need to do. You need to take the objection, right, and turn it into a question and then answer the question. And we're going to train on that in a little bit. What an amazing job. And you see, look at her tonality. Susan is just calm and she's educating the client. That's the most important thing. So good job on that. Thank you so much. What an amazing assessment. All right. Our Snugga Booger is coming to the stage. Azal, please. I want you to role play right now. Are you ready?
I'm ready, but I want to ask you that if you don't mind, you
Sure.
can enroll for salesperson, and I can be the seller because I want to just transfer to you all the scenario that I had and I couldn't handle it. I want to be the seller and transfer the exact objection.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, guys, time out, guys. Look at this very carefully. Now, not only are we going to get an opportunity from this session to be able to answer that one question that we all came here for, where the seller is saying, I want to find a house before I list with you. But Azal wants to provide us right now a bunch of stuff that she's been going through, and we're not going to hold her back. Is it okay with everybody that we do that right now and we sideway into a bunch of maybe one or two objections that Azal? Is it okay? Do we have a yes with the audience? Is it okay to do this? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Okay, you got me. Hey, I'm doing it.
First of all, I want to give you the very, very short story about this scenario that I had it.
Okay.
And then we can just move forward. So actually, it was the Terminator listing, which I found it in the system. And I went to the door and dropped off some stuff in the door. And then I knocked the door and they accepted and they gave me an appointment. And when I went there, I found what was the problem. Actually, the previous agent messed up with this listing and couldn't sell it. But the problem before that, it was not like this. They didn't want to buy before, but right now they changed their mind and they wanted to buy first and then sell the property because they're thinking that maybe they cannot sell it.
Okay. All right, got it. So congratulations, because look at our last session if you were here. Remember, in our last session, we talked about going to work with expired listings. And some of you in Canada were saying that you're not sure if you can actually knock on doors in Canada. Well, look, Azal has gone out. Where are you located, Azal? Where country are you in?
Canada, Toronto.
Toronto, right? She has gone out and she went to just drop off a flyer and she got an actual listing. Now we're going to role play live, right? This is live. We're going to role play live. I am going to be the top producing realtor and you're going to be the seller, and you're going to hit me with everything that you've got, and you're going to see me handle it, and I'm going to move you forward, and I want you to sign my listing agreement. Are you guys ready for this? Yes? Okay, here we go. I ask that everybody keep their mic off and make sure you don't interrupt us, because Azal right now is going to lay it out. Take a deep breath. I need it. 20 years, 30 years in the business, I still need it. Azal, you ready? 3 deep breaths. That's 1, Two, one more. I am ready to flow. Come on, Azal. Okay, I am now at a listing appointment with you, Azal, sitting in your dining room. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, cool. So all right, Azal, it's been a wonderful pleasure to be here with you today. I mean, the house is phenomenal. I have showed you everything that I'm going to do for you to sell this house, along with my brokerage firm, PRA and Company Realtors. We're phenomenal. And I just wanted to make sure that you're ready to move forward. I have my schedule right here, Azal, and I could do the first open house this coming Saturday and on Sunday. Which would be better for you?
So actually, you know what? We had a very bad experience with the previous agent, and we're not sure that we're gonna sell it right now or not. But you know what? We should think about it, and if we can find the place that we really, really, really like it, maybe we will do that. Maybe we will list it. But we're not to list it right away.
Understood. You know, Azal, I could totally understand how you feel, and others have felt that way. And that is why I want to ask you a question. And the question is, you're wanting to sell the property. Is that correct?
Oh, if we find a very good place that we really like it, yes. Otherwise, we are happy with our house. We have a beautiful house, 4 bedrooms, swimming pool. And why should we sell it when we don't have the new place that we really like that?
That is such a good point of view. So let me just ask a question for you so I could totally understand, Azal. What is a new place look like for you that is good? When you say a good place, what does that look like for you?
You know what? This house that you see that it's a very beautiful and everybody like to live in there.
Yeah.
But because our children move out, we don't need this much space. We want to go to the modern bungalow, beautiful house,
Yeah.
but not inside Toronto, outside Toronto.
Okay, outside of Toronto. Okay, wonderful. So you're wanting to see what is on the market so we can get started and doing the open house this weekend. That is so wonderful. Okay, let me show you something. Take a look at my monitor. Is that okay? Take a look. Can you see my screen okay? I'm going to show you right now all that is on the market. And here's my website. Azal, what is your email address? Let me just put in your information here. I got it, right? And we put in the information. And then I say, Azal, now, what is the price range that you're thinking you want to see in the market today? Let's take a look together right now. What's the price range?
Oh, so actually, probably our house value is going to be 1.3.
Yes.
And we have just 100K mortgage on that. We're
Yeah.
gonna just pay off the mortgage. And I want to find something around 1.2 with 3 bedrooms, bungalow.
Wonderful, Azal. Take a look. See, I'm putting it in right now. So I'm going to put, maybe I should put 900 to 1.2. What do you think?
Yeah,
Sounds good? Sounds
that's
good. Okay, great. And then I'm going to put 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Is that right?
yep.
Okay, let's help me filter it a little bit. Let's do it together. So, what do you think? Should we get a pool? Should we check the box for a pool? Or
No, 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 no. We had the pool before. No, we're just,
no?
tired of the pool.
Okay, no pool. And then should I put the garage? You want 2-car garage, 1-car garage?
Two,
What's
two.
two? Okay, good. Let's check it. What about square footage? Maybe what's the minimum square footage you think you might tolerate? What would you want?
So something around 1,500.
1,500. Okay, great. Let's do the search and let's see what pops up. Bumps. Oh, wow. We have 15 listings is all. Let's take a look together. Does any of these look at the first one? This is pretty nice. Wow, look at the kitchen. This
Oh,
this
you know what,
kitchen.
Paul? We are a couple that were taking a look in the open houses to many of these houses that you can see because we have access to the platform, which is House Sigma, and we can see the open houses. We're going there every weekend together, and we're just thinking that none of this stuff is for us.
So right now, what you're telling me is the 15 houses that I pulled up here, Azal, you've seen all of them already and none of them appeal to you? Is that correct or incorrect?
So actually, we saw many of this, and we're just looking for something specific. This one, for example, the laundry, we want the laundry on the main floor, but these are all mainly they're going to the, second floor or basement.
Okay.
We really don't want this.
And let's say that we could find for you that specific home that you're wanting to upgrade to. Would you feel comfortable to secure in that home or not?
Yeah, if we find it, yeah, why not?
Wonderful. So this is the beginning of it right now. What I'm doing for you right now is giving you the access to my private client website. I know that you have access to all of that online, but are you aware that my private client website is set to only give you the properties that meet your criteria, number one, and number two, when they first come online in 5 minutes, you get them. How do you feel about that? Because you're going to get the information in 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Wonderful. Okay, here's what we have to do right now. I see exactly what we need to do as all. We need to feed you properties every single day, not properties that doesn't meet your criteria. We're going to send you stuff only that meet your criteria. Is that good? Yes?
Yeah, yes.
Wonderful. And then while we're doing that, we're also going to be marketing your property to get maximum exposure, but with a few terms. Remember the few terms. This is important, and we want to make sure that you and your family totally agree. We're going to market the property at the same time while we're sending you all that you want. And we're going to market this property to get top dollar, but only accept the buyer that will bring you a contract that not only match the asking price that you want or above, but they must allow you the opportunity to find another house that you want. So it's going to be subject to you finding another home.
No.
Think about that.
We never ever sell our house before we're finding another one. And in the meantime, I want to ask you, if you
Sure.
buy another place for me, just put a clause in there that it should be the condition for, it's like an escape clause that
Yes,
I can put the condition for selling my house.
that is exactly what we're saying. You are phenomenal. I really appreciate you. And that is what I like about you, Azal. You totally see everything that I'm saying to you right now. We're going to move forward. We're going to go and find the right buyer for your house so we could get the deal going. But we're not going to move forward with the buyer and selling the house until we secure and find in the home that you want by using the escape clause that you're talking about. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, let's go over the listing agreements right here. As you can see, we're going to start at 1.3 million. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct.
All right, wonderful. And here's the pen, my dear. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and initial it. Congratulations. We're going to do the open house this weekend. Yes?
Yeah, sure.
All righty. Yay. Woo. Wow. Guys, that was tough. Woo, woo, woo. I got to take a break. All right, good
I
job.
tried to just give up to you, but my client didn't give up to me.
I know. So why did you give up to me?
Because of the time.
Well, there's a couple of techniques that happen there. When you're handling objections, and this was really off the cuff because you guys caught me. There's a technique, okay? The 5 steps of the sale, right here, right? The book. Let's get back to the lesson because we're running out of time. But this was a great sample. Let's get back to looking at the tools that you can use in order to be successful at this. There is a systematic approach to selling. You have a 30 years experience realtor, Susan, and you have a 2 years experience Nooga Booga, Azal. And they both show us today that we are in need of having the ability to handle objections very smoothly. You have to have some sort of selling skills. I want you to take a look at the screen right now. And that book that I wrote last April is called The 5 Steps of the Sale. This technique that I just demonstrated to you and showed you is what I've been using for 30 years. I was in the United States Navy for 13 years. I sold the Navy using this system. And I'm going to show you a little bit more about how you can manifest and get these things done. So let's handle this objection. So we kind of did that, right, just now with this live role playing. And if you guys notice, right, what are some of the things that I did to make this work? Well, the first thing that you should know inside of handling any objection, whether this one or anything else that you guys are going to throw up here in a little while, is you must first have a connection with the client. The client must like you, trust you, believe in you, because it is the footprint, it's the doorway to you handling any no's that they come up with. No's, any no's. As a matter of fact, when you have such a strong connection, they're psychologically and morally obligated to not say no to you. Interesting. So that's one thing. Two, you should use verbal bridges in the technique when you are handling an objection. And that's when Susan was out there. Susan, basically, when I objected as a seller to say, well, I want to sell my house first. I want to find a house before listing it. She turned it into a question. And that is why we use a verbal bridge. And the verbal bridge was, hey, Azul, I could understand how you feel. Others have felt that way. And that brings up a question. That is a verbal bridge. Write that down. Whenever you get an objection, just say that. Hi, seller, I can understand how you feel. Others have felt that way. And that brings up a question. And then you turn the objection into a question by restating the objection. So you're saying that you want to find a home before you list your home. Is that correct? And they say, yes. Okay, great. I totally understand that. And here are some of the things you should know that we should do. We have to get the money out of the house. We have to do this. We have to, where is the deposit going to come from? Do you need a deposit from this house to get that another house? Do you need to get the money from this? Would you qualify for? There's a lot of things you have to do to educate them. And finally, you do another trial close by saying, listen, did I totally understand and answer your questions for you? And they say, yes, you did. Okay, and here's a trial close. I could do the open house this coming Saturday. Is that okay with you? And that's a trial close. And they say, yeah, let's do it. Booms. Now, let's take a look at this technique. What is this technique? And then I'm going to answer some questions. The 5 steps to the sale is a selling system. We're not here to sell you anything today. This is our system. If you want to learn it, then that's up to you. If you don't want to learn it, that's also up to you. But we recommend that you go and find a selling system. The first thing about the 5 steps to the sale selling system is, I want Azal. What is the first step in the 5 steps to the sale? What's step number 1 say? Azal, please.
Making a connection, I think, is the most important part, right?
Yeah, step 1. Read step 1. Step 1, conversation. What does it say on the screen? Please.
Conversation, putting your prospect at ease and getting the, 1 second.
Getting them to like you and to listen to you. That is right. So step 1 in the 5 steps of the sale is for you to get your clients to like you right here. They should like you and they should be listening to you and they should trust you. Does everybody see that? There are 3 ways that you can get a prospect to like you, to listen to you, to trust you, and believe in you. And I'm going to show you. You can use 3 techniques to get someone to like you in 60 seconds or less. The first technique is called the association technique. And that's where you associate something with that client. For example, you see a client and they have an iPhone, and you just see it in their hands. So you could say to them, the moment you see them, oh my goodness, wow, you have an iPhone. You know, I have an iPhone too. Isn't it the best phone out there? You can associate. They're drinking coffee out of a tall cup. You can associate with that. Oh, wow, you drink coffee like that. I drink it too. It is amazing, right? It really does. Okay, good job. That's one technique. It's association technique. You see someone wearing a sport coat, you could say, oh, wow, you wear sport. Oh, look at you. Hey, man, I wear sport coat too. You see somebody with glasses. Oh, wow, I like your glass. Oh, let me see. Is that Gucci? Wow, man, you've got style. Association technique gets somebody to like you, right? Listen to you. Do you realize that you could be speaking to your audience, but they're not listening because they don't like you. They're not listening because there's no connection. You've got to get the connection. So the first one, association technique. The next one is the mirroring technique. The mirroring technique means that you're doing everything that they do, right? So if they're doing things, but don't get caught. Whatever they're doing, you're going to do it. They put on their glasses, they're playing around with the plan, right? You're going to, if they're doing whatever they're doing, you're mirroring them, okay? Whatever they put their hands, the way they sit back in the chair, sit up, that's mirroring technique. But don't get caught, because if you get caught, it immediately will break the trust. So you've got to do it just a little bit. If the association technique is not getting you where you want to get with the connection quickly, you could start to mirror a little bit. Cross your legs, sit like how they sit, things like that. The final technique you can use to build that rapport very quickly is psychological reciprocity. And psychological reciprocity means that you're giving your client credit for their beliefs, and they're morally obligated to give you credit for your belief. Let's take a perfect example of what happened today. Azal, I apologize. Azal, do you remember in our role play, and you said at the end of the role play, it says, well, Paul, it went, you got me to sign as a seller, but it didn't go like that for you. Do you remember a little bit of thing that I was using where I was giving the seller, you, Azal, I gave you credit for your beliefs. I use words like, I could totally understand how you feel. Others have felt that way. Remember that? And then I also said to you, like, well, wow, I congratulated you. I said, oh my God. And I changed my energy. I was like, oh my goodness, you're amazing. I can't believe it. You're seeing exactly what I'm seeing. We're going to get what you call it a clause inside of the contract. Remember that?
Yeah.
That is a technique. Technique. 5 steps to the sale technique. 30 years I've been using it. I released it last year. I kept it a secret from you, the world, all this time. I apologize, but I just wanted to keep the secret. It's my secret sauce. All right. Step 1 is conversation. Step 2 is where we would have curiosity. And this is after you get the prospect to like you, to listen to you, to trust you, and to believe in you. Then you make them curious. And this involves you telling them that what they're wanting to see done, like, find a home before they list a house. You make them curious by telling them, oh my gosh, I totally understand. We're going to find that home before we even list the house. Don't worry, before we get in the contract. Make them curious to see your presentation. And then step 3 is your presentation. That is your conviction. That's when you have them listening to you very keenly, and you're showing them exactly how you're going to take them through the process of finding a home before listing the home. Interesting. Step 4 is desire. And step 4 is not really used. It's basically where you would handle an objection. It's all about handling objections, like using verbal bridges, when they say no. But you should know this. When step 1 and step 2 and step 3 is done very good, that means you have a connection with them, that you made them curious, and you did your presentation very good. You bypass step 4, guys, and you come right here to 5 automatically, and it happens all the time. That's the secret to having some sort of selling system. This one is very unique, and it's called the 5 steps to the sale, and you should find one. That's my recommendation to you. Now, let's continue on, right? And then we're going to take a little bit of questions, and I'll pay attention to you at that time. So now that we've seen that there is a system out there that you can use, here's the support for you. And I'm going to put this into the chat, right? You have the ability to book your growth call with us anytime you want because you're with Agent Locator. You subscribe to Agent Locator, so you have growth calls with me directly. We're not trying to sell you anything. We never will. You want something from us, that's fine. We could work together. So I'm going to put inside of the chat right now, you're going to see a link, and this link is there to help you, and it is a Calendly link. While I'm doing that, I am now ready for some questions. And I see 2 questions here already. Sold what? You sold in the Navy. Okay, Luca, can you come up to the stage first? Because Luca has been asking some really good questions. All right, there we go. Inside of the chat right now, everyone click on that link and save it, because that is what you're going to use to get one-on-one meetings with me directly if you want it. You're not obligated to do anything. And now, if you want to speak to me, please come on up. I have someone here says Amanda, which is the name of my baby girl. I have a daughter named Amanda. I have a seller that said they have several agents looking for their wish list. Whoever, why don't we tackle this? You want to tackle this? Truly active 55 need. Sounds like Amanda really needs some help. Felt it, found it. Okay. Who would like to come up to the stage right now? Oh, come on.
Can we go with Luca first? He had that question about the Navy. He's here
Oh.
already.
Okay, thank you. All right, Luca, we are here. Tell us, what was the question? You asked if I served in the Navy. Luca, is your mic off? You want to talk? I'm also paying attention to the chat if you can't do it. But yes, Luca.
I think his question was if you sold something in the Navy.
Oh yeah, Mike is not going. Luca, I was in the United States Navy for 14 years. I served my first 7 years as an electrician in the bottom of the ship. I was there fixing electrical stuff. And then my last 7 years, I served as a Navy recruiter. I was an NC1, first class petty officer. And I actually rose to the position where I became the district trainer for over 172 Navy recruiters in the South Florida district. So that was a good training that I had to lead people. Thank you. Great question. It was a pleasure to serve my country. Thank you. What's the next question? Does that help, Luca? You're good? Amanda, you're standing by. Go ahead. Let's see what we could do. We have like 10 minutes remaining, but Amanda, let's help you. You have a scenario, Amanda. I was reading it. Something, the seller is saying they have all kind of agents looking for them. That's not cool. You want to be their only agent. Amanda, you have to unmute your mic. High quality and well-run development, strict, safe location. Amanda, would you like to speak to us? Would you like to bring it? 2 seconds. When I see your mic unmute, then I'll come back to you. Okay, Azal, did we answer your question today?
Kind of.
All right, let's finish it up where you could say, yes, we did. All right, now, kind of, what more would you like to add to the partial question that we answered? Let's clear it all up.
So actually, when we have some potential sellers that, because you totally understand what I mean, and everybody else in these Zoom, they know that when we're going for listing presentation, getting the yes from the seller is not that much easy that we mention it. But when we have this tough potential seller, because they don't know us and they cannot trust us, they need some stuff that they can trust, because all of us, we cannot get a referral, specifically when we're starting this business. It's not coming with referral. Everything it comes with effort, with door. I'm a door knocker, and I'm doing many door knock every day. And it's not that much easy to get the business from the people who doesn't know you, and you should just tell them that I'm the best because I'm doing this and that, but they cannot trust you. So these seller, because specifically getting the listing from the expired and terminated is much more tougher, because they're like the people that their journey is still open, right? And they feel pain. And but how can help us, how can we get this type of, how can we handle this type of sellers, tough seller, because all the seller are not easy.
That's true. Azal, it's a wonderful question and a very truthful question. And the question is, hey, who is there to train us to be top salespeople, right? You got your real estate license, right? And you went out, you went to school, you got your real estate license. Is that correct, Azal? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was successful so far in during this 2 years. I could close 15 deals, 15 listing, but 15 listing was not easy for me. It was like 18 hours work for every single day. And I feel tired.
Of course. Now let me ask you this. Look at Rob. Rob says Mike Ferry, right? Who can help you? The most important thing that we want to acknowledge right now, Azal, is that what you're saying is who can help you, us as realtors, to be able to handle these hard sellers. Are we recognizing this? Are all of us recognizing here that there is a need in our businesses for selling skills, or is that incorrect? Do we understand that?
Yep.
Okay, so if we need selling skills, is there a school that you could go to learn selling skills, or a training that you know of?
These are all helpful.
They're all helpful. Do you know of any, is the question. Do you know of any?
Actually, yes, some part. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Have you researched the school to see the results? Is it the results that you're wanting to get or not wanting to get?
Yeah, I
It
did.
is. Okay, great. Now, the only resource that I know is the 5 Steps of the Sale. I'm Paul R. Atkinson, and I wrote the book, The 5 Steps of the Sale. I am not Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, I'm no one else, right? I can tell you that the system that we have used for 30 years works. The question is, how do you feel, Azal, when I was using the selling system technique called the 5 Steps of the Sale on you? How did it make you feel? What do you think of how it made you go towards closing? Is that a real thing or not?
It is.
Okay, find something like that, if not that. That is what we're saying, because we're set up to fail as realtors. All they give us is go learn the law and the real estate law, and that's it. And nobody puts us in an academy so we could learn something. This is crazy. Who does that? Oh, all because we're independent contractors? Nobody wants to teach us how to close a deal? This is not cool. And that's where I see. Now, somebody else wanted to talk, and there was some writing. Okay, I think Amanda might have gone, but Basenia, can you tell me, many agents combine 3 different, go ahead.
Yes, so we have Sharon here. She mentioned at the very beginning that she's a newer agent and still taking her real estate course. So she had a question about why not use a CRM rather than door knocking or other type of email marketings. So I just said that it's good to combine, multiple different pillars of real estate. So if you want to just elaborate on that and help share.
Okay, multiple pillars, right? So yeah, because when you're, for example, and you're saying that 4 different pillars of real estate, right? And what would they be? Could you please just start out for me, Basenia, on the 4 pillars?
Yeah, so I did mention their sphere of influence, online leads, door knocking, and whatever other thing you feel works out for you. It's just important that you are not stretched too thin on either of those, and that basically you have just multiple sources to gather leads.
Absolutely. And that's right. So sphere of influence, obviously, is the people that you know. And then typically when you approach them the right way, you will be able, Sharon, to get a deal done, right? That's one thing. You have online leads, right? Agent Locator or other sources, they provide you with online leads. That's right. Door knocking. Azal does door knocking. She's really good at it. She like it. And other things that you can do to generate leads would be signing up for referral companies, guys. Referral companies are out there. I don't know where in Canada, but look at Sharon. Sharon is in Eustis, Florida, and I could tell her she could go to Prime Street. That's one source where you could get buyers. Op City, which comes from realtor.com. There's also sold.com. You get seller leads. So there's different places. If you sign up for the referral companies, these are companies that they generate the leads and they actually call you and say, here is a buyer, here is a seller, and this person wants to buy, but you're going to give back 35% to me. So, okay, fine, you get what, 65%. But they're referring leads to you. I hope that was helpful. Sharon, yes?
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. All right. So Ali, you're saying haha. What does that mean? Haha. Ali. Ali, you had a question? Anybody else with a question that they would okay, Ali, go ahead. Ali, you wanted to speak? You said haha. What is that? Ali, come on. Okay, anybody else that wanted to close out? Now, Azul, we didn't forget about you. Now, one more time, how do you feel? Because you came to our session today, Azal, and you wanted to get some clarity on how to succeed with these hard sellers. Did you achieve that in our session today, Azal, or not?
Yeah, it was very good.
Okay. How will you now move forward, Azal, in being strong for these tough sellers? What will you do different?
So the most part that I got it, I think, is just the conversation, which is very important,
Yes.
and just I think we come with some mirroring, which is very good that I'm not doing in my conversation. I want to try it. Association. These are the things that I want to start with because I didn't include it in my conversation. I want to start and practice.
Good. Very good. Yay! Listen, there's 3 ways, and I'll repeat it, 3 ways to get a prospect to like you, to listen to you, to trust you, and to believe in you in 60 seconds. That's less than a minute, guys. It's 1 minute. And that means that you're tuned in to eye contact with them, you are associating with them, you're mirroring them, you're giving them credit for their beliefs. You're in a conversation with them and they tell you, you know what, man, I'm thinking I want to sell my house, but I want to find something first. How do you agree to that? You're like, oh my gosh, I totally agree with you. I understand how you feel. Others have felt that way. Don't worry, I'm going to guide you through this process. That's psychological reciprocity. It's not like, well, that's going to be pretty hard. I don't know how you're going to do that. It's going to be difficult. That's what 80% of the realtors do. You've got to have a selling system in place. Good job, Azal. And then remember, curiosity is after you get them listening to you and open up to you, you make them curious and you tell them what they want and what they need and how you're going to sell. You have it. And get them sitting up in the chair right now. When they hear that you have what they want, they're going to sit up in the chair and they're going to listen. It's like these big ears just became bigger. That's what you want. And then in step 3, that's the conviction. Here is where your prospect will justify buying your proposal. That's where you lay out the presentation. You have your laptop, you're showing them the market conditions, you have flyers of what your brokerage firm is going to do for them to open everything you're going to do. And when you make the presentation so impeccable, they turn around, they say, okay, where do I sign? I'm ready to get going right now. Boomps, drop the mic. Guys, that is exactly how it works. So we today completed the topic, I want to find a home before listing my property. It was phenomenal time today. I truly enjoyed it. You guys put me on the spot. My heart was racing, but we handled it. We show how we could use a selling system technique to get any seller, whether they want to or not, to move them forward by handling an objection. What do you need? You need, in order for you to be successful at handling objection, you've got to believe in yourself and you've got to know the circle of success. And did you know that 10% of product knowledge is the smallest part of what you really need to succeed? It's only 10%, the product knowledge about the house. You don't really need it, to be honest. But what you need is 45% of an attitude, and you need 45% of selling skills. You need to be able to influence people and move them forward. And you need to have the right mindset. That's what the attitude is. You need to see the presentation going well. And even when you're nervous, when Azal was making me nervous, giving me all this objections to not moving forward, I had to take a deep breath back here, man. 30 years in the business, but I took a deep breath and I said, come on now, I got to show her what's going on and move forward. Once again, that is it right there. It's in your inbox. If you want support, you can reach out to us and I'm here for you. Just set up your growth call and I've got you covered. Finally, last question. Anybody else?
Yes, we have one, Paul,
Thank you.
sorry. We have Danny here, and this is a question that we also had at the very beginning, something similar to this. And he said, I have a seller who had to sell a place in 1 month and buy a place that was a pre-construction that has to be occupied in 1 month too. However, after pulling title, the funds were low to sell. There is no way someone can buy and it's supported to pull title. What do you have to say about that?
So it sounds as if that there was a compulsory there. And from my understanding, what you're saying, Danny, is that the seller was not able, didn't have enough time to complete the transaction. Is that what you're saying, Danny, or not what you're saying? The time was short. They didn't have enough time, right? Yes. Is that Danny? Yeah. So if they don't have enough time or they didn't, then what else? The time was short. So what else could we have done? If we couldn't, okay, there's 5 words, the 5 words that you should know. Control what you can control. Control what you can control. 5 words. You should feel good when you know these 5 words. Whenever you have a problem or a situation that comes in and it makes your heart beat and race and it's a problem, it's stopping your money and you got to pay your bills, just say to yourself, oh my gosh, did I control what I can control? Is there anything that I could have done differently to make this thing work or not? Because if there is, if the answer is yes, there is something different, then you didn't follow through. But if you know you did everything you could, you shouldn't feel bad about it. And you should feel good and pat yourself on the back and say, you know what, I did good. I controlled what I could control. I did good. Thumbs up. I couldn't do anything else. Danny, was that helpful or not helpful? Don't leave. Amazing. Time too short. Listen, the time is not too short. Does everyone see the link inside of the chat? It says Calendly, and it's a link that we posted. Danny, you could just click on the link and go ahead and schedule your one-on-one with us. I will come on, or one of our other coaches will talk to you and just help you through whatever it is. It's a one-time session. It's not always periodic, but we give you that because you're with Agent Locator. So there is the chat. In the chat, you see the link. Anything you need to know, we can even tell you more about Agent Locator, connect you with Basina and the meeting itself. So don't worry. It's a pleasure. And is there anything else before we go? And Basina, when am I speaking again? And when should they put on their calendar to come back?
We do not have a date yet, but as soon as we do, we'll send a mass email to everyone. So we're looking forward to see you there.
Yay, thank you all so much. This was amazing. As you could see, this is the real deal. We have to get selling skills, guys. Nobody teaches us that, but you have to learn how to deal with people. Good stuff, Ali. Thank you very much, guys. Please just, put in the chat or send an email back to Agent Locator. Let us all know that you find this to be of value, because if you do, we'll give you more. If you don't find it of being value, we will step away and let someone else get more value to you, okay? So let us know, send an email, connect with us. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. You know how I feel about you, man. I want you to succeed. Bye, guys. This was live on Facebook, so you could check it out as well. To our audience on Facebook, listen, We love you too, man. See you guys. If you need anything, definitely connect with us. Azal, thank you. Susan,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.
Bye. Be
All right, have a
good.
good day. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Cheers.